Hello, all my friends, wherever you may be. And happy retrograde, almost Mercury. It's in the shadow of the retrograde. Can you feel it? Did you wake up thinking, gee, is Mercury retrograde? No, we're in the shadow of the retrograde. And that means that Mercury is imitating the retrograde. And that's why you think that you must be losing your mind. No, you're not. In the shadow of the retrograde, it's an alert to us to tell us, hey, what you're feeling now, get ready. It's going to be full blown, in just a little bit. So this month, November, which is just a couple of days. Let's see. Today is the 28th of November. It's December. See, I already started doing that Mercury retrograde thing, forgetting the months, forgetting where I put stuff. Anyhow, I hope everything's fine with you. I have got our astrological overview for December, and I've got a lot to share with you. And I'm going to start by answering those of you who have sent me questions for months. So just hang in there. First of all, I am going to be doing another video after I finish the sun signs for December. And it'll be online, I want to say, in just a very short time, a few days. As soon as I get through the signs, all 12 signs, I'll do that. It's going to be called Let's Talk Money. And I'm going to show you how each sign can optimize their financial situation. Somebody's got to do it. I'm going to do it. So that's one of the announcements, but that's not one that you asked for. You asked two really big questions. Number one, when am I going to start giving full moon ceremonies at the Phoenix and the Dragon? COVID, of course, stopped everything. And I am thrilled to say that, number one, I'm going to continue my virtual full moon services, along with in person, if you're here in the Atlanta area, full moon ceremonies at the Phoenix and Dragon. Those of you who live out of state or out of country, don't worry. My online full moon ceremonies will continue. Now, the in-person full moon ceremonies at the Phoenix and Dragon will begin Tuesday, December 26th. That's the day after Christmas, of course, and that is when we have the full moon. The ceremony will start at 6:30. For about 15 years, I started the full moon ceremonies at 7. But with the crowds increasing in size, Phoenix and Dragon closed up. We were still on the patio doing our ceremony, and I thought, let's do it a half hour earlier for the convenience of everybody. So I will start December 26th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, and I will be doing the virtual. So you'll have both. All right. Now, the other question so many of you have asked, and several of you have asked more than once, is when are you going to start teaching astrology again? Well, I have finished the first series of courses. What I told Spirit was I wanted to share everything I knew about astrology with beautiful people who functioned on a high evolutionary level, and wanted to be astrologers. Those classes, which lasted almost a year, are over. And I've turned these beautiful people loose to serve using astrology. The next time I do that, okay, and I'm doing it 2 places at once. Of course, I'm a Gemini. We do everything in 2s. Ask a Gemini, they'll agree. Okay, there is going to be, okay, I've got so much to share. The virtual class, virtual courses that I will be teaching, that means online, of course, they're going to begin on Thursday, January 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are interested, go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com. If you have questions, just send me an email, starmax@bellsouth.net. Those of you who are quite young don't know what Bell South is. I've just dated myself. Just type it in, it'll get you to me. So my series, we're starting with beginning and intermediate, a short beginning and then intermediate, to complete the entire series of courses, and we'll meet once a week. Will take approximately 8-9 months, depending on the speed of the student's ability to grasp what I'm sharing. I take it as quickly as the class is able to grasp it. Okay. The last one I did, it was awesome. Beautiful people. So if you're interested, let me know. starmax@bellsouth.net. I'm also going to be teaching astrology classes, drum roll, please, at the Phoenix and Dragon. They're going to begin, where is that date? There we go. January 20th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And for information on the classes and to sign up, contact me. All right. You can go to my website, or you can just email me. If you have questions, email me. I'll call you back. We'll talk. So that's what's going on. Those of you who want to be an astrologer and have been waiting for me to start a new series, you're on. Here we go. And if you're in Atlanta, oh, I think we'll have a beautiful class. Now, Christmas gifts. What do you get people for Christmas who seem to have everything? Well, first of all, some of you have a different cover, but this is, I've resurrected my book, What Your Astrologer Never Mentioned. Yes, it's a Gemini written book. It's a smart aleck book. It is not a textbook. If it's funny and it goes to the heart of each sign, you can tell if somebody's reading it because they're going to bust out laughing as they go through the book. This is available on Amazon. I only have the proof so far. Amazon hasn't sent me my copies because the author gets them late. But you will, if you go to Amazon, find this in an ebook and a paperback, What Your Astrologer Never Mentioned. Those of you who know me know that I have to introduce humor. All righty. Then there's another book I wrote in honor of Carolyn Dodson, the late Carolyn Dodson, who was a dear friend of mine, who taught me how to read cards. And I think she called it card reading for astrologers. You don't have to be an astrologer. I've shown you how to, using her technique and then adding my own. It's called, it's in the cards. This and what your astrologer never mentioned make great stocking stuffers. Well, first of all, what your astrologer never mentioned, this is for the skeptic in your family. Just give it to them. Okay, don't talk to them, just give it to them. Okay, and this is for the card reader who perhaps is not fluent in tarot card reading. These cards are regular, ordinary playing cards, and I've given you Carolyn's method, and I've added my own 2 cents to it. Okay. Now, those of you who are on the spiritual path, serious spiritual path, my secrets from the womb, the hidden pact that runs your life. If you are ready to change the predictably, the predictable story of your life that repeats itself over and over and over and over again, you are ready for this book. This book is not for everyone, but if you're on the path, this book, I wrote this for you. This is the most recent life-changing book I've written. So let's see, I think that's it. So next up, let's talk money. In the meantime, let me tell you what's going on in December. Okay, so first of all, the sun is in Sagittarius until the 21st. The Sag sun is funny. It's hail fellow, well met. It is philosophy. It's taking a stand for principles. It's humor. And so have a ball. The 21st, the sun moves into practical, logical Capricorn. And I always say about Capricorn, you don't mope, you don't hope, you cope. And so the entire world, remember, this is not your forecast necessarily. It's for the entire world. And if you stand back and watch, okay, yeah, I see the sun in Sag, and then boom, when it goes into Capricorn, totally different. And I know that I am preaching to the choir for some of you because you read it loud and clear. In the Bible, it says, and God put the stars in the heavens for signs. Even if you are not an astrologer, I know there are those of you out there who read the signs. You are awesome. Awesome. So very practical, very logical. Capricorn says, how much does that cost whenever they're shopping? And that's why I'm going to be launching my book. Let's talk money before the sun goes into Capricorn, simply because you just got to know it, so that you can use it. So Capricorn is the mountain goat. There's room for only one at the top of the mountain. And people say, Capricorn, isn't it lonesome up there? There's only room for one. And Capricorn says, yes, but the view is magnificent and certainly worth it. That is our Capricorn. Now, Venus is the planet of love and money and beauty. It is the lesser benefic. Jupiter is the greater benefic. I'm always tickled when I see Venus and I think it's the lesser benefic, the less good. What a joke. It's designed to distinguish it from Jupiter, which is the greater benefic. and Jupiter rules God's law. So Venus rules money and love and beauty, and yeah, maybe a little self-indulgence. It has been and will stay in its own sign, Libra. Venus, I know Venus rules Taurus also, but it manifests very differently in Taurus than in Libra. So there's Libra on the 4th. On the 4th of December, it moves out of lovely Libra that says the right thing at the right time to the right person. And it is beautiful. And with that, people will be interested in beauty projects or gifts, but that's early in the month. On the 4th, it moves into Scorpio. And Scorpio is a very intense, all or nothing sign. Those of you under the sign Scorpio know that you are the most powerful sign in the zodiac. How do you know that? Because I mention it every single month. I just think y'all are great. You're not going to mess around. It's going to get done. And Scorpio is the sign of transformation. And so this is your love nature, your attitude toward money, etc. Okay. On the 29th of December, Venus moves into Sagittarius. And Sag wants to be free. So first of all, the sun moves out of Sagittarius on the 21st, but on the 29th, Venus moves into Sag. And your love nature becomes expansive. Your monies become expansive because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Oh, love it, don't you? Okay, now Mercury. Yeah, it's in the shadow of the retrograde, even as we are speaking. And I know, as I've said, some of you feel it very strongly. Mercury is going to go retrograde on the 13th. Okay. And so I'll explain what that means. Okay. On the, it is in Capricorn, which means it's going to go, it's in Capricorn when it goes retrograde. It's going to back up into Sagittarius, all right? It will go direct January 2nd. So stay tuned. Come back at the beginning of well, actually the end of December, and I will go over that with you again one more time. So Mercury's going to go retrograde on the 13th. I make my handwriting, you know, I can't read my own handwriting. Okay, we've covered that. When Mercury is retrograde, we do not start new projects. Why? Because they either fizzle out completely or have to be redone within the year. Now you might say, well, I'm starting a new job on the retrograde Mercury or during the time that Mercury is retrograde. Cool. This may not be the permanent job. Use it as a stepping stone. Don't get all bent out of shape over it. If it gets crazy, just know that Mercury is going to go direct January 2nd, 2024. All right? So be aware of that. And when Mercury goes retrograde, everything is kerflooey. You plan to do one thing and with somebody and they get the wrong date and you get the wrong time. And tripping over your words. That's what I do. I'm a Gemini, and of course we are communicators. And if you're a Gemini, you know that. And it's like you're tripping over your own words. So no, there's nothing wrong with your health or your mentality. It is Mercury. I know I sound like I'm making Mercury the scapegoat. What's wrong with that? Okay, so let's keep on going here. Mars is going to be in Sag all month, the whole month of December. And Mars is action. Wherever Mars is, that's what you fight with and for. And in Sagittarius, you're fighting for your principles. A Sagittarius is truth. It's expansiveness. It's freedom. It rules the higher mind. Are you thinking of taking long trips? Are you thinking of getting an advanced degree in something? Sign up, get it going. Now, don't do it on the retrograde Mercury unless you are tying up loose ends from projects that you've started and haven't finished. Sag, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Now, Jupiter, the greater benefic. It's blessings. Wherever it is in your chart, you are blessed. It is God's law. Saturn is man's law, but Jupiter expands whatever it touches. If it's in your second house of money, ta-da! You cannot win the lottery if you do not play. I'm just saying. So here we go. Jupiter is going to go direct December 30th. Happy New Year. It starts going forward from then on. It's been sitting in whatever house in your in your solar chart. And of course, I'm going to share that with you when I get to your particular sun sign. So now we've got a new moon and we've got a full moon. The new moon in December is on the 12th. It's in 20 degrees, 40 minutes of Sagittarius. Find this in your birth chart. I will describe it to you in your December summary in my videos. So take the video version, take the actual version, blend the two, and you've got the full picture. On the new moon, that's when energy starts flowing again. I would say 2 days before the new moon, maybe 3. Sometimes it's 3. We are in the dark of the moon and nothing happens during the dark of the moon. Everybody's energy is low. And when I say everybody, I'm talking about the world over. That you're not crazy. There's nothing wrong. It's just a time of introspection. All right. So 2 weeks later, we've got the full moon, and that's when everything comes to a head. And this full moon is in 5 degrees Cancer. Find 5 degrees Cancer in your birth chart. I will be sharing it with you with all 12 signs. So you only want to look at your own anyhow, or your family's charts, signs, forecasts. Choose the appropriate word for your comfort. So on the full moon, which is December 27th, it's in 5 degrees of Cancer. I'll be going over this with all the videos that I'll be recording, all 12 today. So if you have any questions on anything I've said, please feel free to call me or email me, give me your contact information, and I'll get back to you. So have a wonderful holiday season. Whatever holiday you happen to be celebrating, I'm trying to be politically correct, because it's more than Happy Hanukkah or Merry Christmas. We have lots of other holiday greetings, because every group, every religion, every spiritual sect has those. So my blessing, no matter what your preference, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now.